BoxBox Hub is an absolute essential for any Formula One fan, and the entire app with new widgets, statistics, localized race schedules, and countdowns, you name it. They even have support for Apple's new live activities feature with real-time updates during a race right on the lock screen, and honestly, some of the best looking widgets I've seen.
Fox has taken back the lead. They're on the final corner, and Bronze is going to cross the line to win the Spanish Grand Prix here in style. Indeed, blimey, that was style in all sorts of chaos as well. As crosses the line, P1 there for Glock. They're fantastic indeed. The Poles in the belt take the race win this time here in Spain. Fantastic from Glock. This is 7, and Max, the champion, takes hold of the win here in Shanghai. A fantastic result. And the Poles is in the Czech flag. Win the Chinese Grand Prix in style here on the the victory here in Zandvoort, and a fantastic ride indeed then. For the championship the whole season, and he's got himself a race win here as well then. Fantastic. Here comes Clark then to cross the line. Around the final corner comes the Haas following to claim the victory here in Texas then for the Haas team. Then up into P1 then for Farf. A great result indeed as everyone crosses over. The Haas is a 1-2 finish for the Haas with Farf in P2. Fantastic result indeed for him as well.
As the ALR circuit sits, 800 meters.
Welcome along, everybody. We are back for silver. We are ready to get going here for potentially the penultimate round of the season. It is definitely the penultimate round of the season, but it is potentially the crowning race for another champion. Then, if we saw gold last night, then we saw that, of course, the champion was crowned. Then Sam Swift Ninja for McLaren was crowned the champion of gold season 10. Last night in Brazil as well then, so could potentially a Ferrari of Mags take the championship here tonight. Then we will wait and see here in this one. Of course, 18 minutes left of qualifying, or of the qualifying, short qualifying session. And yeah, looking forward to this one because, like I said, the championship could be crowned. The Drivers' Championship could be crowned, of course, tonight. Then the Constructors' title depends on how the Haas team do. Then if the Haas team outscore Ferrari, I think, or if they outscore Ferrari, then of course they have won the championship. But if Ferrari only outscore Haas by a few points, then it could be the Haas's title then in the Constructors here tonight as well. So play to play for then, evening from B Rabbit then, and evening to everyone as well in the comment section, and looking forward to seeing what this one is going to withhold or unfold or untold, whatever, so many words. But there we go then. The drivers out on track then very quickly indeed as well. Then maybe it's going to be a very quick qualifying session here tonight, as it seems like they're racing around the circuit already. Then it's there's quite a few drivers already out on the track, going through sector 2 then, so potentially there is some rain on the horizon in this qualifying, which would put us quite quickly into the race, but we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen first. Out in front then, Mags then has just relinquished the lead to an AlphaTauri then, so we'll go on board with that AlphaTauri if we can find them. It's not Mumford, it is Nameless then. Nameless is going to be leading us away then here in qualifying, and like I said, it looks like it's going to be a one-shot shootout here in qualifying. Even though there's 18 minutes on the clock, then I think it's rain forecast then for the qualifying session, which is why Nameless is already kicking us off here in qualifying. We're only 16 minutes left of the session, only 2 minutes into the session, I should say, as everyone gets themselves through the track as quickly as possible, it looks like, with rain on the horizon potentially. So that is why everyone's out on circuit circuit so quickly. It is not just a one-shot qualifying, but it might be a one-shot qualifying because rain, I think, has started to fall already then, which is going to be terrible stuff indeed then for the likes of Speed, Kai, Vintage, and Donna the Dons, who are still stuck in the pit lane, and we are free reserves tonight. And I'm not quite sure they're aware of the weather situation here in Brazil tonight then, as already then through into the Sector 2 section of the lap, and Nameless is having a few troubles out there, and he is the lead car. So imagine what the other drivers are facing then as they go through Sector 2 as well then. Of course, the track's going to get wetter and wetter as the session goes on, so I think it might actually be a one-shot quali here tonight, so that is interesting to say the least. But there we go then. If we've got time, we'll switch back to the intro then, to the championship protagonist. The championship fight then is on. Then as Nameless then does set the fastest time on the board, as the times will start tumbling in now as Mags then sets the pole position time. Of course, he is the championship contender. Is Mags leading the way in the championship currently as well then, and that is looking good then for him in currently the pole positions. As the rain has fallen so quickly as well here. Look at this, it's absolutely appalling as Dylan crosses the line. He's starting off another lap. He hasn't finished a lap, I should say, and I don't think it's going to be enough time for anybody to set a lap time here as well then. So unfortunately, everyone who's done a time is we're done. I think we're done in qualifying. Disabled, DRS disabled. Then as we go again, then for Favre, he's on the soft compound tyres. But I think this is the fastest qualifying session we're going to have in the whole of ALR this season. And blimey, that was quick indeed, wasn't it? As yeah, I think Favre and Dylan are still struggling on out there, but unfortunately, I think that is qualifying done and dusted already. So there we are. Unfortunately, that is it. So yeah, there we go then. I think, of course, there's still time for drivers to set a time if Favre can keep the car under control, that is. Dylan then, of course, he's a championship contender. He's drifting it round the horseshoe then, looking very stylish indeed, but I'm not quite sure that's going to correlate to lap time then for the McLaren driver then. But interesting, let's say the least. But there we go then. Into the pits comes everyone pouring back in the pit lane now after their quick one-lap shootout qualifying. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's qualifying done unless it starts to dry up here. But yeah, that is interesting to say the least then. Is Dylan comes into the pit lane as well then. So Dylan currently he needs to score 2 points at least then if Max wins to keep the championship fight alive then into Imola, the final round of the season. And currently, that is not the case then, so we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen here. As Donna the Dons is out there, he's on soft compound tyres as well, then lots of people retiring in the pit lane, and I think that's our qualifying done and dusted then. So good stuff indeed. we are done with qualifying after that one attempt then as well, and that is going to be it for qualifying, I think, then for most of the drivers. Then they are retiring in the pit lane, so I think it's going to be too wet to do one more lap then. And that is that then. So we will quickly just show the preview then for the championship fight before the race starts.
Grox has taken back the lead. They're on the final corner, and Grox is going to cross the line to win the Spanish Grand Prix here in style indeed. Blimey, that was style in all sorts of chaos as well. As it crosses the line, P1 there for Grox. They're fantastic indeed. The Poles in the belt came the race win this time here in Spain. Fantastic from Grox. But this is 7, and Mags, the champion, takes hold of the win here in Shanghai. A fantastic result and from pole position then to the Jack Flag, who wins the Chinese Grand Prix in style here on the the victory here in Zandvoort, then a fantastic drive indeed then then into the for the championship contention and also into the whole ligament. He's got himself a race win here as well then. Fantastic style. Here comes Barth then to cross the line. Around the final corner comes the Haas trying to claim the victory here in Texas then for the Haas team, then up into P1 then for Barth. A great result indeed as everyone crosses over. The Haas is a 1-2 finish for the Haas with Barth in P2. Fantastic result indeed for him as well.
There we go then. I thought I'd just get another chance in to play that before we get into the race, because it's quite a long video. But there we are then. I think pretty much everybody is done in qualifying then. So I think, well, I don't think the intermediate times, or intermediate tyres I should say, can compete though with the times that was set on the dry compound just before the rain started to fall then. So unfortunately, I think we're done in qualifying then. Of course, Dylan does want to set himself a time which would put him into P13, I would imagine, depending on where he or how quickly he can get around on those intermediate compound tyres. But I'm pretty sure that qualifying here is done, and yeah, it was a one-lap shootout then. You need to go and scroll back to watch it then, but it was literally pandemonium coming out of the pit lane, and straight away then at the beginning of quali, before the rain started to fall, then into P13 goes Dylan, then P14 for Speed Kai as well then. So that is that then for those two drivers. And I think, like I said, I don't know what we're going to be doing for the next 9 minutes or so, but there we go. Father's Kevin Magnussen, rather fitting, says Ginger Rage. Yes, it is indeed. And there we go then. So there's more rain, says Matthew, and the rain in this game is incredibly unpredictable. Yes, it is, or especially we saw around here, literally within the space of a sector, it had gone from dry to this. So yeah, it's all over the place really. But that is that then. Of course, in Brazil, it's probably unpredictable, or quite realistic level this is actually, with the unpredictability then, if I can get the sentence out, the words out. But yeah, there we go then. Of course, currently we can't scroll to him because he's retired in the pit lane. But currently, Mags, the championship leader, then is in contention as it stands to win the title here tonight. Then, so it is of course Dylan needs to score 2 points or more to keep the fight alive. Then, if Mags wins the race here tonight, so we'll have to wait and see if that is the case. Only 4 points separate the top two of Mags in P1 in the Ferrari. Then he is on 225 points, and Dylan in P13 currently. But P2 in the standings, he is on 221 points. So that is how it looks in the drivers' standings. 188 points back to Favre, so we don't have to worry about Favre too much. So good stuff indeed. But that is that then. Like I said, it's been a bit of a damp squib, I suppose you could say. Definitely damp out there for sure, as we literally had one run then on the soft compound tyres for the top 12. Everybody else then who's still going, that is on the intermediate compound tyres or worse, maybe even wet tyres around here, as Favre's on the soft compound tyres. So I'm not quite sure if Favre's got I think he's got the same thing that I got in qualifying 2 last night in gold then. So that is interesting stuff indeed. But so far so good then. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what these drivers are going to be doing then, if they're going to be cracking on. If there's rain in the race, potentially this is a bit of a practice run as well for the likes of Donald the Dons and some other drivers then who are still out and about on track then. So we'll have to wait and see. But there we go then. So yeah, I'll take that, says Gordo as well. Gordo is in P3 then, of course, on his first, or the first or the only run then for the Mercedes driver after that that sort of splurge out of the pit lane, I suppose you could call it, with everyone starting in the dry, and it changed literally on the flying laps, and the first flying laps in the first 2 minutes of the session. It changed to wet conditions then during those flying laps, so everyone got themselves out and quickly around, and 12 drivers did. Unfortunately for Dylan, then for Don of the Dons, Sweet Kai, Favre, Vintage, Craig R, Reflection and Irvine, they didn't get a time in, or they haven't got a soft compound time in. Unlike Favre, actually, Favre has done a soft compound time, but he's not too competitive on those soft compounds. So I think he'll be coming back to the pit lane. Then Speed Kai's back out again then, so he's still going out there for some reason. So he can improve then potentially from a 30.8 then to something a bit better then in the range then of Dylan in the McLaren and Don of the Dons in the Mercedes. So we'll have to wait and see. But there we go then. Like I said, this is potentially a title deciding race, this one tonight then. The penultimate round of Silver Season 7, and Mags is currently leading the championship, can win the title tonight then if he wins the race then. And Dylan finishes lower than P9, or P9 with fastest lap, I believe. So we'll have to wait and see, as Vintage has been disqualified for parking in a dangerous location, and that is him done and dusted in qualifying as well then. So unfortunately for him, he is out. Yeah, there we go then. So Speed Kai, they're coming round the rest of the circuit. Then Farf is still going on the soft compound tyres. So interesting stuff from him. But there we are. So, well, fantastic stuff indeed then. So, like I said, Mags then is on 225 points. Then Dylan is on 221 points. So, 4 points the difference then as it stands. And like I said, if Mags wins, or Mags wins and Dylan doesn't get any higher than P9, then Mags claims the championship here tonight then. So Dylan will have to do quite a lot of work, I think, there to try and get himself back in the range then of his championship rival of Mags then, because of course he's down to P13 then after not getting in a soft run at the very beginning of the session then, unfortunately for the McLaren driver. So that's going to be very costly indeed of the start of the race. And of course it's a long race indeed, 36 laps around here, so he's going to have some time to try and get himself back in contention, but will he be able to get himself back in contention is the question. So there we go then. For some reason, Farf is just driving around on soft compound tyres out there, and he needs to get out of the way of Dylan, who is coming through turns 1 and 2 now into the S's, then the centre S's of this famous circuit. Of course, it is a championship crowning circuit, as we're familiar with then in the olden days of Formula 1, and potentially here tonight as well then. So looking forward to seeing how it's going to unfold then. Is it going to be raining in the race? We will see as well then. If there's going to be some rain, it could add a bit of a splash then to the championship party then. Potentially then for Mags, then potentially for Dylan as well, if he can keep the fight going on then to Imola, then the final round of the season next week then. So we'll have to wait and see how it's going to unfold. But so far, Mags looking strong. Vintage was ordering ALR t-shirts then. Of course, if you've got some free pennies or spare pennies, then please throw them at the shop. Get yourself some ALR boxes as well. Mine are very comfortable. But it's good stuff indeed. Yeah, there we go. Vintage then is unfortunately going to be starting from the back of the field, it looks like. But he will be, of course, taking the place of Vessia. Then Vessia, I think it's his first race missed tonight then of the season, I believe. Potentially it's his second race, I'm not quite sure. But we are going to be missing Vessia, of course. Then Vintage is going to be doing his best job then to put on a show then in the Alfa Romeo then tonight. Then good stuff indeed. Then unfortunately Dylan didn't improve on his time there, so he's going to have to come back to the pit lane now. Speed Kai is back out on circuit. Let's see what Speed Kai is doing. I think Farf is still going around on soft compound tyres, which is interesting. There we go. Speed Kai has improved to a 17.3. That is definitely better than a 30.5, I think it was. So that is good stuff indeed from Speed Kai then. Good stuff indeed all around. Then, of course, the top 12 drivers then all set a time on the soft compound tyres right at the beginning of the session. As Speed Kai crosses the line, he is half a second down on his time. So that is not good news then for Speed Kai, unfortunately. So that is that then. We've only got 3 drivers left in the session then. So left on the track, that is, because everyone else has retired. And these 3 seem to be just doing a few spins, it looks like, there for Dylan. So that is the entertainment then for the next 2 minutes, I suppose, before we get into the Grand Prix itself. Then the title deciding potentially Grand Prix, we'll have to wait and see. Then currently Mags, if it stays this way, of course, if Dylan doesn't score any points and Mags wins the race, then Mags will be claiming the title here tonight then. So it's going to be a pretty spicy Grand Prix indeed. Oh, good. So there we are then. So Dylan then, I don't think he's going to be coming back in the pit lane now, is Dylan. So I don't think he is, I don't think the weather is letting him improve. The same for Speed Kai as well then. Dylan retires from the session, then he is in the pit lane. And that is his qualifying done and dusted. Then P13 at best then for Dylan in the McLaren. Then here comes Speed Kai. He is still unfortunately down on his time by 90,000th of a second. As Donald the Dons has said, good luck as well then. Waiting then for the last couple of drivers then to just finish off their last laps here in qualifying. As here comes Speed Kai up to the line then in the Williams car. It's another 17.3. He's improved by 1,000th of a second then, which is great stuff indeed. And he stays P14 then for the time being. Of course, the conditions then did play a bit of a factor then in this one. So there we are. As Farf is still cruising around then on the soft compound tyres, which is fantastic stuff indeed. Nameless is still in the pit lane, so I think Nameless has actually run out of time already now to come back out of the pit lane there, so he's going to be staying P2 at best, which is still a pretty good stuff indeed then for the AlphaTauri. Then he's on the front row of the grid then to the start of this Brazilian Grand Prix, which is coming up in just over a minute's time. and looking good so far out there as well then for Mags, for Gordo, for Mumford as well, then Fanjo in P5, Jinner in P6, then Nigel in P7, Kamara Racer in P8, then Potstaff P9, Ultimate Beast in P10, rounding off the top 10 as well, then R2 Beat in P11, then ahead of the two McLarens, P12 and P13, Dylan the championship contender. Like I said, has got a lot of work cut out then for the race if he can get himself, needs to get himself back in contention. And as actually, what is this? Speed Kai is improving his time then. This is interesting stuff indeed. Speed Kai then half a second up then, that could put him ahead of Dylan, potentially split the McLarens if he can improve enough on this lap. Then here he comes then up to the line. Let's see what he can do. And it is going to be a 16.7 then, just behind Dylan by a tenth of a second then, but he has improved massively. Potentially the track is starting to dry out here. Not enough for Farf though on those soft compound tyres, I don't think. As through the third turn then, and I think Speed Kai then flying through almost took Farf out, it looked like there, because Farf then on those soft compound tyres is going to be very, very, very slow indeed. Into sector 2 then, Speed Kai has improved then by almost 0.2 of a second then, so it is coming back to the Williams car. Potentially can get himself ahead of Dylan then. Of course, he's got another 5 seconds to get himself ahead of the McLaren of Sweet 100p then, that is, because of course the McLaren of Sweet 100p then, and everyone ahead of Sweet 100p then, has set a time on the soft compound tyres at the very beginning of this session as well then. And you can give me money to get better internet so I can see the stream. I can see the stream myself absolutely fine, I'm afraid. So if anybody else has got that issue, then I'm not quite sure. But yeah, just refresh and then see what happens then. But at the moment I'm watching the stream and it seems okay to me. So there we go. But yeah, that is that then. So good stuff indeed. And I'll just refresh my stream as well then. Yeah, looks alright to me. Okay. So I'm not quite sure what's happening here. Speed Kai is still going around the circuit on my screen and on my screen as well then. So yeah, there we go then. Alright, good stuff indeed. I think that's qualifying finish then. There is your standings and your classification then for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Mags takes pole position, then the championship contender is in prime spot then to take the championship here tonight then. Nameless P2, Gordo P3, Mumford P4, Fanjo P5, Jinner in P6, Nigel P7, Camaro, Potstaff, Ultimate Beast and R2 Beat and Sweet 100p then round off the soft compound runners. Dylan in P13, Speed Kai in P14, Donna the Dons P15, Farf P16, Craig R, Reflection and Irvine and Vintage did not get a time on the board, unfortunately for them. Yeah, it was working for me, Smithy, so that's good stuff. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but there we are then. We are ready to get ourselves into the race now, and it is nice and dry then for the start of the Grand Prix, that is at least. So we'll have to wait and see how the drivers then are going to take the strategy calls in as we get ourselves ready then for the start of the race.
BoxBox Hub is an absolute essential for any Formula One fan, and the entire app with new widgets, statistics, localized race schedules, and countdowns, you name it. They even have support for Apple's new live activities feature with real-time updates during a race right on the lock screen, and honestly, some of the best looking widgets I've seen.
Check out BoxBox, then check out the ALR Shop. Then if you haven't already, then from the back of the field we've got Vintage in the Alfa Romeo, then he's on the hard compound tyres, same for Irvine in the Red Bull P19 and Reflection in the Alpine P18. Of course, those three drivers didn't get a time on the board in qualifying. Craig R then in the Ferrari P17, he's on the hard compound, as well as Farf in P16 and Donna the Dons in P15. Soft compound tyres for Speed Kai, the only driver on the grid then who's starting on the soft compound. That is interesting stuff indeed then for the Williams driver reserving tonight then in place of Dopey Lemons. Dylan then, of course, championship contender, who's on the hard compound tyres, so looking to go long in the first stint, potentially to get himself some extra pace in the second stint or the final stint of the race. Sweden P then his teammate on the medium compound tyres, P12, then R2P just outside the top 10 on the mediums as well. Inside the top 10, we've got Ultimate Beast then in the Red Bull medium compound tyres for him, then same for Potstuff in P9 in the Alpine, and Camaro in the Alfa Romeo in P8 as well. Nigel opting for the hard compound tyres in P7, Ginner as well in P6 going for the hard compound, then Fanjo P5 on the medium compound tyres, Mumford on the hards in the AlphaTauri, then both the AlphaTauris going for the hard compound tyres as nameless on the front row of the grid then from P2 opting for the hard compound, Gordo on the mediums in P3 looking for a fast start, as well as the champion elect, I should say, the champion elect then of Mags, who is on the medium compound tyres, ready to get himself started in this Grand Prix.
In the UK, Roosevelt Raceway in the USA, and Monterey in France.
I'll turn the cameras off and everything, but there we go. Right then, here we go then for the Brazilian Grand Prix. The 5 red lights are coming on now. The 5 red lights are on here in Brazil then, and away we go then for the Brazilian Grand Prix. A good start then from Mags. Then he needs a good start on this medium compound tyres. He's got himself a nice gap already then in towards turn 1. And into turn 1 we go then. Very good stuff indeed then from the back of the order. Then there goes Gordo into P2. Getting ahead then of the AlphaTauri on the hard compound tyres as well. Great start indeed for Gordo and for Mags. As we can see the action, then here comes Fanjo on the back then on the medium compound tyres, then trying to get himself down the inside at turn 4, and he's made the move stick, has he? It's going to be side by side through there, and there's an AlphaTauri off the circuit then on those hard compounds as we go flying through into sector 2 now as well. Then good stuff indeed. It looks like everyone's got through unscathed out there. I think so anyway, so that is good. But so far so good then. Fanjo up 2 places, then we can see all the position changes as Nigel and Mumford battling away as well then in P6 and P7. Then good start indeed then for Mags. He's got Gordo though to contend with on those medium compound tyres, and Fanjo is coming through as well on those medium compound tyres down the hill towards sector 3 now. Dylan and Ultimate Beast battling away, then Dylan trying to go around the outside then, and Speed Kai is going to try and get themselves through then on the soft compound tyres as well into the penultimate turn. Then up the hill we go then, and Speed Kai has got himself up into P11 and ahead of the championship contender of Dylan into P12 as they go through to finish off lap 1. Then Dylan coming back then down the main straight then towards turn 1. Then Mag sets the fastest lap of the race. Of course the fastest lap could play a factor in this as well. Then the Favre's got himself up into P12 behind Dylan now as well. Then of course Favre is mathematically still in the championship as well if Mags and Dylan have difficult races here tonight then, but so far so good for Mags out in front. Then we're watching all the action in the midfield, then as Nameless has been passed by Ginner up into P4 then for the Aston Martin. Good stuff indeed on the hard compound tyres as well. He's the lead hard compound runner as it stands in the Aston Martin as well then, so he's got quite a bit of a gap then to try and catch up to the top 3 who have sprinted off into the distance at this stage only on lap 2, as they have got a good gap already then on to lap 2 as well. Mags then leading away, then Gordo P2, a great start on those medium compound tyres. Then down the order then we've got Sweet MGP and Speed Kai's battling away, then Speed Kai from P11 dropping down to P14 as he's going down the inside of the McLaren. Then on those soft compound tyres, McLaren of Sweet MGP holding on to the position there. He's got the inside, then down the hill we go then towards sector 3 once again as we're flying through, and Speed Kai on those soft compound tyres has got the extra grip then to try and get himself back ahead then, and he has got himself back ahead into P13. Great stuff indeed so far out here as Mags then sets the fastest lap race once again. Then Mags is trying to drop Gordo, I think. Then Gordo is trying to stay within contention then on the DRS then, but DRS has been enabled now, and I think he's outside of that 1 second window. Favre's got himself past Dylan, has he? As they go through the center S's then on to lap 3 then, and Favre then slots in behind the McLaren once again then as we go down towards turn 4. And blimey, it's action-packed then, only 3 laps in, and we're already getting ourselves some epic battles and battles of the season already so far. Already we're only on lap 3, and we're on round 16 already, but we've done the awards, so we'll have to worry about that next year. But good stuff indeed. Then Dylan then has used a lot of battery then to try and just keep within range, and Favre then getting squirrely then, and Speed Car trying to go down the inside, then it'll turn to the outside now for the next left-hander, and blimey. Great action out there indeed. Then Gordo has lost out to the DRS then of Mags. Mags is really putting on a spurt now, isn't he? Trying to get himself out of that DRS range. Then Speed Kai and Favre then switching places then as we go down towards sector 3 once again. Then Speed Kai come down the inside of Favre and up into P12 on those soft compound tyres. Then how long will the soft compounds last in this race? I will ask you because I have no idea. Out in front then, Fanjo's got himself past Gordo then and trying to mount a charge then on Max as well then as we go into turn 1. Then he's almost within DRS range as well then as we go into turns 2 and 3 through the S's section. Then Sweet P then up into P12 ahead of Farf then, but Farf's going down the inside then as Farf's taken the place. Then Speed Kai's gone through as well then, and Sweet P carries on the battle then now with R2 Pete then, who's lost 4 places from the start. Then he's down from P11 and down to P15, but here he comes then on the attack up into P14 then down towards sector 2. He's got the move done as well then. Good stuff indeed. And blimey, that was pretty good stuff indeed. Out in front, then Fanjo's actually got some good pace, and he's got himself up into the 1 second window, just about then. Well, he was just about then before sector 2 started, but just about then into that 1 second window then of Mags. Then up 3 places then for Fanjo. He's on a good run of form. Then is the Williams driver. Let's see if he can catch hold of that Ferrari. Then that Ferrari is pretty fast indeed. Not just in real life then, but of course then with the driver currently in it. Then Mags then leads the way in the race and in the championship as it stands. Then he is going to be crowned the champion because Dylan is not scoring any points at the moment, and that would take it on to, or wouldn't take it on to, sorry, the final round of the season. That would mean it would be claimed tonight then by the Ferrari driver. Goodness me. Spoiler alert then, we've got all sorts of action in the comments as well then, but Fanjo then has got himself in the DRS range now of the race leader. We've got more action as Nigel's had an issue. Then Nigel's off the circuit at the centre S's. Then he's got himself back on there, but he's not lost any front wing, but he has not used a lot of battery. Then Farf then has lost out to Dylan, so we're now into the points then. It's not enough as it stands. Then he needs to get himself 1 more point at least to keep the fight alive then in Imola, into Imola then for the final round of the season. And it's going to be close indeed then, but Mags currently looking good out there as well then. Farf and Speed Kai, there's a bit of a hash sandwich happening here with him for Speed Kai. Then I'm not sure he wants to be in that sandwich as well then, especially with Farf behind you. It's going to be terrifying indeed. But Nigel then with that incident then has lost out to the DRS range of the top 10, and now he's going down the inside then is Speed Kai. Then he's got the move, has he? No, he's going to be very tight indeed then, but Nigel holds off the Williams car for the time being. Goodness me. It's been an epic opening 5 laps, hasn't it? Ginner then on the hard compound tyres is 3 seconds behind the top 3, but they've now caught up to Mags. With the DRS now, Fanjo then has got himself into contention. Then Gordo is holding station at the moment in P3 and looking to try and keep up the fight then for the podium places. Mumford then up into P5 past his teammate of Nameless, then both of them on the hard compound tyres and maybe playing a bit more of a team game at this stage of the race then compared to the rest of the order as it stands out there as well. Kamara Racer doing a good job then in PA. Then can he get himself past Pot Stuff in towards the sector 2 line, but not quite. Then he stays in P8 for the time being. A lot of drivers out there used up a lot of ERS then on the opening 6 laps so far, and that will be bad news for them later on. Of course, that would mean they would have to harvest quite a lot then later on in this race, and so that would mean they would go a bit slower on their laps as well then. So we'll have to wait and see how it's going to strategy is going to play a factor in this one for sure. And the battery management is going to come into that strategy as well then, so we'll have to wait and see how it's going to unfold then. Out in front then we've got a battle still on the cards then for the race leaders. We've got more action down the field then. Ultimate Beast getting himself past Dylan, then Dylan up into P8 now because currently the championship still alive then for Dylan, so he needs to make sure that he gets himself as many points as possible. Then R2 Pete's got himself past Pot Stuff, has he down the inside then at the final corner, and Speed Kai's getting interested as well then on the Alpine as we go over the crest of the hill then to start off lap 7 I think it is. We're already on lap 7 then for the race leaders. Then there's a McLaren then flying through, then Reflection's gone through as well then in towards turn 1 then, and they've got themselves through all unscathed pretty much, which is very good stuff indeed. Well raced indeed then from all drivers and keeping it respectful and clean out there as well. Great stuff to see, and we'll go down the straight then to finish off sector 1 then on lap 7. Then there's going to be a bit of a fight then between Speed Kai and Craig R. Then it looks like there's contact between the Williams and the Ferrari as we go through into turn 5 now, and Craig R has got himself ahead then, but I think he got a bit of a nudge to pass, or push to pass then, literally. So there we go then. But again, battery then flashing away then. Speed Car is going to diving down the inside then. He's got the move back on the Ferrari, has he? Or can he hold it round the outside this time now? As blimey, this is an epic fight indeed then, watching this battle down the back of the field. There's no points on offer for this position, but they are still putting on a show nonetheless then. It is the silver showdown to say the least then, but so far so good then. Out in front them, and 4 seconds to gap. They've dropped Gordo now. Fanjo and Mags that have dropped Gordo. Then Gordo's going to be in a bit of no man's land for the time being, unless there's some battling going on between the top two. Then into turn one, then Fangio doesn't make the move, and he sits behind for the time being as well. Then can he make a move down towards turn four, though, is the question. Then the race lead is in the balance then for Mags. Of course, if he finishes P2 and Dylan does finish in the points at any position, then the championship fight will carry on then to Imola, then the final round of the season next week here in Silver. So good stuff indeed then. Potstaff has got himself past R2 These two battling side by side into turn four, and Potstaff has edged ahead then of the Aston Martin. Great stuff indeed. Then on to lap 8 we are. But there we go. Then softs to mediums is the shout in the comment section. That's potentially what we're seeing then from Speed Kai. Unfortunately, they're not working out too well. Then he's dropped down to P17 out here, so it's not going the best way that he probably would want it to go. But we'll have to wait and see then if it comes back to him. And of course, there is a drop-off point then of about 25% then on the tyre where that you will need to get past. And then potentially, if you do get past, then you can gain some more performance. And after that cliff has been disposed of, I don't know what you want to call it, but there we are then. On to lap 9 now we go, then flying over the crest of the hill then to start off lap 9, and here comes Fangio on the attack then in towards turn 1. Then he's almost in the diffuser of that Ferrari as we go over the line. Then Mumford has got past Ginner, I should say, as we go into turn 1 now and turn 2. And Ginner, of course, trying to fight back then down towards turn 4, but can he fight back is the question. And these drivers on the hard compound tyres, of course, will be looking to try and go longer in the first stint. Then here comes Ginner on the attack, then down towards turn 4. Has he got the position? Yes, he has. Up into P4, back up into P4, I should say then. They're now 3.5 seconds behind Orlo as we go. Oh, they've got some issues then for Kamara Racer. Kamara's off the circuit at turn 4 and 5. Then he's back on now. But he's dropped down the field, unfortunately, for Kamara Racer. Not quite sure what happened there, but he has had an incident there into turn 4 and turn 5 potentially as well, and that has cost him dearly as well. Then that's dropping him down to P18 out here. Craig R's got himself past. No, he hasn't. No, he's not, because they're still battling side by side. Then Speed Kai and Craig R, hard compound tyres for the Ferrari and soft compound tyres for the Williams car. Then down the inside at the next horseshoe, and I think Speed Kai is going to be ahead now. Yes, he is ahead of the Ferrari. Good stuff indeed. It's been all action then for the first 9 laps of this race, and here comes Mags once again over the line. Then Fangio then sitting behind into turn 1, but this time potentially going to start playing a bit of DRS games with the Ferrari. Then as Nameless back past his teammate. No, they're out. No, goodness me, then we've got to go all side by side from turns 1 and 2, and Nameless is ahead of his teammate then, and now he's got Ginner to try and get past as well then, but Mumford is coming back at his teammate as well as we go down towards turn 4. Mumford now ahead into turn 4, and Mumford going for the move for P4 as we go into turn 4, then into sector 2. He's lost the car, then Nameless off the circuit there as well. Then this could open the door for Dylan, which would be grateful stuff indeed for the McLaren driver. He's got himself up into P7 now, and keeping the fight alive, like I keep saying, but he's keeping the fight alive very nicely indeed. Then into the, oh goodness me, I thought there was going to be contact there, but they slowed the cars down just in time as well. They're great stuff indeed. Dylan then looking strong, at least to keep the fight alive. Then starting from P13 on the grid, he's up into P7 already in the opening 10 laps now. Can he get himself further up the order potentially, and even take the fight, then potentially claim the switch the roles around, then potentially in Imola if it carries on then to that round, the final round of the season, of course, and then potentially get the title. We never know, it could flip that way in Formula 1, as we once heard from a very great commentator that anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. We could see a massive title twist then in the final round of the season if it carries on, if it stays this way, if it carries on this way as well. Then into P9 for Potstaff. He's got himself ahead of Nigel now as well. Nigel on the hard compound tyres is going longer in the first stint though than the Alpine, so doesn't have to worry too much, I don't think. And might fancy his chances of getting back past then in towards turn 4. Covering the inside, we've got a Kamara Racer who's retired, and it's a safety car then. Kamara Racer out of the Grand Prix at turn 3. Safety car has been released then. That is going to be interesting stuff indeed. Who's going to do what now in terms of strategy? It could be all over the place now here, as safety car has been released then. Kamara Racer out of the Grand Prix then, and that was a big smash indeed. It looked like for the Alfa Romeo then. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait and see what he's going to do then for the rest of the field. 19 drivers then will have to try and tackle the strategy now with an extra safety car thrown into the mix. So there we go then. Right there, almost mentioned Kamara Pad as well. No blame for me, says Serious Mushroom, then right on cue, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately for Kamara Racer, he's not had the best of seasons, and I don't think that has helped his season there either then. So unfortunately then, We have got the safety car out then into the pit lane. Then comes the race leader then of Mags, slowing the car down just in time. Then same for Fangio, same for Gordo. Not for Gordo. Then Gordo's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And that is going to be added to his next stop potentially. Then I think he'll have to make another stop. Interesting stuff indeed. Then onto the hard compound tyres we go then for the former race leaders. Then is anyone going to stay out? Then I don't think it's going to be worth trying to stay out in this race on those older tyres as well. Then Mags will retake the lead then once he caught up to the safety car as well. Then filtering out the pit lane now goes the drivers then as well. Everyone is in the box apart from Kamara Racer, who unfortunately is out of the race. So that is why he's not in the pit lane, as Mags needs to make sure he slows down then for that safety car, because otherwise that can be very costly if he gets disqualified. Not being costly for Dylan, then he's up into P6 now, Dylan, and looking quite good out there as well. Bad for the hard and soft runners, says Serious Mushroom. Then, well, it was a good time, I suppose, then for those on the who started on the soft. I think it was just speed car on the soft compound tyre, and I think potentially then for those who started on the medium compound tyres as well. Then we'll have to wait to see how the hards can hold up. I'm not quite sure. It might be a bit of a stretch when you get the hards to the end of the Grand Prix. They have to do 25 laps here, as Vintage and Irvine have switched places then under the safety car. So I'm not quite sure what's happening then for Vintage. But he seems to be having a few issues out there as well. Then good stuff. So right then, safety car has already caught the leaders. Then it's caught the pack up quite quickly as well. Then we're only 10 laps in then, and the pack is still quite close together as well. So there we are. Then we've caught ourselves back up very quickly. I think we'll have one more lap then behind the safety car, lap 13 behind the safety car, before we get ourselves back underway for some green flag running here in the Brazilian Grand Prix. Then a third of the way through the race already. Then they've been setting some fantastic pace in the first third of the race, up until that safety car came out then. So good stuff indeed then for the 19 drivers that are remaining in the Grand Prix. Let's see if we can keep the 19 drivers then in the Grand Prix for the rest of the 36 laps then. As there we go then, starting off of course lap 13, and one more lap behind the safety car before we get ourselves back underway. Would 2-stop taking the chart, says Serious Mushroom, and that is the call then from the comment section. And he is deciding that that is what you're going to be doing then if you are going to take the risk, that is. I don't know if Mags will take the risk. Can we get to the end of the Grand Prix on those hard compound tyres? The same for Beast, the same for Popstar, R2B and Sweet, and they could be in a fantastic spot here if those drivers on the medium compound tyres or even the soft compound tyres, the same as Vintage, Dons and Nigel, then have to make another stop. I'm pretty sure Nigel and Vintage and the Dons then will have to make a stop nonetheless then, because I don't think those soft compound tyres are going to be doing more than the next 15 laps at most. So I'm pretty sure they'll have to come in the pit lane very soon. Not very soon then, in the next few laps or so. But there we are. So the safety car should be in this lap then. We're waiting for Don of the Dons to catch up to the safety car queue then, and we can get ourselves back underway then at the beginning of lap 14. There we are then. It's going to be difficult to finish on the tyres they have, says Matthew then, so there could be another stop then. So that is the feedback then from the comment section. A few drivers thinking that there's going to be another stop then for all drivers who are currently back steering this race. I should say safety car is in this lap, and we will get back racing on lap 14 here. Good stuff so far then. Unfortunately, one safety car has been called out. There was a big smash then for Kamara Racer at the exit of turn 2 and into turn 3 in the Senna S's there. But he is out of the Grand Prix. Unfortunately, that was the cause of the safety car, but the safety car is now back in the pit lane and out of our way. So that's good stuff. And now we can wait for Mags then to drop the hammer then and resume the racing here. Waiting for that Ferrari to get himself going here in Brazil once again then. And it looks like it's going to be a very slow restart for the Ferrari. So we're going to cruise up to the line then. And he has gone, I should say. And Fangio, I think, caught out very slightly then as well as we cross the line then to start off lap 14. Yellow flags already in the background. And Gino trying to go down the inside of Gordo, I should say then. Contact for Gordo then, and Gordo just keeps the car under control then. But now the AlphaTauri bumper just snuck through as well then on those medium compound tyres. What I would say to Gordo as well, you have to fight this hard, to be fair. Oh dear, yes he is fighting this hard, nonetheless, never mind. So there we go, through turn 5, and Nigel snuck through as well. Then he's trying to sneak through on Dylan as well, then into turn 6, now around the outside then for Nigel. This could be an overtake of the season, but Gordo then has snuck his nose back down the inside now into sector 2. But like I was saying to Gordo, of course, he's on the hard compound tyres. If you can keep those tyres alive to the end of the Grand Prix, he doesn't need to fight too hard then, because of course those who are on the softs or even those on the, oh dear, I thought Beast was going to get his wing chopped off then. Those are on the softs, or those who are even on the medium compound tyres will have to pit again then. The likes of Gordo, the likes of Max, Fanjo, and potentially Ultimate Beast, then potentially Pot Stuff, Sweet Repeat, and R2B and Speed Kind don't potentially have to pit, that is. They might have to pit, you never know. They might choose to pit, you never know. But here comes Gunnar then on the attack, and looking for a P2 position, then but Fanjo then just defending the position then for the time being down the main straight onto lap 15. As we've got movers and shakers then between Gordo and Nameless then into turns 1 and 2. And Gordo stays ahead then of the AlphaTauri for the time being, but the AlphaTauri is pushing him through turn 3 as well. Then here he comes then on the attack then for the AlphaTauri then of Nameless, I should say, then on the Mercedes of Gordo into turn 4. And they've gone through, and I think they've got themselves through unscathed as well then, just about. Good stuff indeed. Beast then all over the back then of Gordo as well. Then he's putting on the fight. Then Jinner has had an issue then at turn 6, and he's lost the car at turn 6. He's spun the car around trying to get himself back underway, and he is back underway now as well then. But unfortunately for Jinner, that has cost him dearly as well. And then that safety car with the field so bunched up then after that safety car restart has dropped him all the way down to P19, which is not where he wants to be, of course. Onto Beast and Gordo then switching places. Then Beast now up into P7 and then chasing down Nameless on those medium compound tyres. Good stuff indeed from Beast there. A good overtake as well. We didn't quite see the beginning of it. We saw the end of it then as Gordo has been passed by Farf on the medium compound as well then. And now Gordo dropping down to P9, but for the time being he's in a bit of a safe spot, I would say, because those behind him, 3 behind him then on the hard compound tyres as well. So it's not all doom and gloom just yet. Then Nigel got himself past Dylan, has it round the outside at turn 1. Then this is going to be tight indeed then through turns 2 and 3. And he's got himself ahead then of the championship contender, I should say. He's not the championship elect then, he's the championship contender for the time being. But currently in P5, he has taken the championship then to the final race of the season. He's trying to go around the outside then of Nameless then, but Nameless holds on to P6 for the time being as well. Then good stuff indeed. They've lost a lot of time though to the top 5 as we go through turn 6 as well. Then Beast almost pushing the AlphaTauri through the corners there as, oh my goodness me, it's going to open up for a lunge, I should say. Then he has gone for the lunge and he has got the position, has he? No, Nameless still has the inside this time for the next left-hander, but I think Beast is still alongside them for the next corner as well. And oh my goodness me, there's elbows out. There's more contact between Beast and Nameless as well then as we go down the hill towards turn 14, turn 12. Oh my goodness me then, and up the hill we go then. Beast then is well, they've lost a lot of time because of that then, and now Farf is all over the back of Beast as well then as we go across the top of the hill and towards turn 1. There's going to be an almighty drag race then with the DRS then down towards turn 1 as well. Then Farf's got himself through, then Beast has got himself through as well. Then here comes Gordo as well on the inside then, and he's lost it almost me. There's all sorts of action then as Beast and Nameless have come together again as well. Then Gordo overzealous, I think, then on the brakes and has cost himself and I think some other drivers a bit of time then as well, for sure. As we go down towards turn 4 here, and blimey, it's going to be almost all of them piling into turn 4 at the same time. It looks like Nameless has dropped down to P10 then, that AlphaTauri harvesting some energy then as well. Irvine's got himself past Craigar, has he into turn 6 then, up the hill we go then. Irvine on the inside then, and Craigar's been nerfed off the circuit slightly. Then here comes Speed Kind looking to go down the inside then of both of them, and that is not a place to go 3 wide, let alone 2 wide. But thankfully, no harm done then in the end. Then Speed Card going to try and go down the inside of Craigar. Once again, these two resuming a battle then from the previous stint then. So there we are. As around the outside goes Speed Card. Then can he hold the position is the question. And on Craigar then into the penultimate turn. Then up the hill we go once again. Then Speed Card I think has got the traction then this time to get himself ahead of the Ferrari. Then but Ferrari of Craigar then is using the power of the battery then to try and get himself back past the back alongside. But not quite then as we go on to lap 18 at the halfway point of this Grand Prix already. We are flying through indeed here tonight. Fanjo is under pressure then from the AlphaTauri of Mumford. Mumford is really flying out there. Then same for Nigel on the soft compound tyres. But Nigel then, like I said, seems to burn through his battery very quickly indeed then. And that is costly indeed for him in the latter stages of the race. Then he's currently got himself up into P4. Then Dylan all over the back of him as well. As the top 5 then filter into turn 6 and 7 as well. Up the hill into sector 2 we go then. As late on the brakes then for Nigel then because he's on the soft compound tyres. We've got a yellow flag then for Pot Stuff at turn 6 as well. Then Pot Stuff off the circuit, the same place as Jinner. Oh dear, mounting the hill then somehow. As Pot Stuff then is back underway then, but unfortunately Jinner got himself back past Donna the Dons then as well in that sector 2 horseshoe section as well. Then Donna the Dons, Jinner has got himself recovered. Then Pot Stuff's turn to recover as well in this race. But potentially actually, like I was saying then with Pot Stuff, He's on the hard compound tyres. He can go to the end of the Grand Prix from here, or at least try to. So potentially could get himself a jump then on those who might have to pit again in this Grand Prix. Over the line then, we've got Nigel then under pressure from Dylan then in towards turn 1 then. Of course, Nigel is not under any threat then from the championship, in the terms of the championship aspect, that is. Dylan, of course, needs to make sure he keeps himself, his front wing intact then, and the rest of his car intact as well. But there we go then, down the hill towards turn 4 we go then. Vanjo then is in P2. Holding station at the moment then. Getting rowdy, says Serious Mushroom then. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it certainly was then. I think it's calmed down a bit. Then the top 5 now are 4 seconds ahead of the 6th place Farf, who is now out of range of Gordo as well. Ultimate Beast in P8 then at the moment, in Nameless as well in P9. Then R2Beat has got himself into the top 10 as it stands as well. Then looking good for R2Beat, potentially to get a good result here as well if he sticks out on those hard compound tyres. If he can get them to the end of the Grand Prix, that is. Speed Kai and Vintage then battling away then into Sector 2. And Jinner has joined the fray as well. Then Jinner then on the attack then into the next horseshoe. Then he's going down the inside of Vintage and he's got the position then on the Alfa Romeo. Then up into P16 then for the Aston Martin, and recovering nicely in this race as well. Then good stuff indeed. Out in front then Fanjo, I think, might have lost the DRS then to the race leader of Mags. Then no, he's not. He's got the DRS then back open then for the Williams car. Good stuff indeed. Regardless of what I'm saying, it is probably just rubbish. But so far, what I do know is the championship fight is carrying on then to the next races. Tomorrow's left the session, then Ultimate Beast up into P7, passes Gordo, then in towards turn 1. Then he's ahead now into the center S's onto lap 20 of 36. Then Nameless picks up a penalty. Nameless has got a penalty. That is bad news for Nameless, who is going to be under pressure now from R2 Beat as well then. As we go down towards turn 4, then here comes Gordo on the attack. Then Gordo and Beast side by side. Where are they? Yes, they are. There they are. As nice little try and attempt for a switch back here then for Gordo. Can he get the position? That is the question. Then Beast covers him off for the time being into turn 6, and Gordo stays behind for now. Goodness me. So good stuff indeed. This has been some fantastic racing out here indeed then for the first 20 laps then of the Grand Prix. We're almost at the 2/3 distance now. Lap 24 coming up then very shortly then. So so far so good then out here then for the well, definitely for the first half of the race then. It's been absolutely epic stuff indeed then. Dylan then is like I was saying, is in contention then to keep the championship fight alive. Then he needs to finish above P9 if Max wins the race to at least hold on to the championship fight potentially into the last race of the season in Imola, of course. And there we go then. As I think I've got my maths wrong, so somebody needs to do the maths quickly on that because I don't know what I'm talking about. But no, I think well, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing then, to be honest. So yeah, somebody needs to tell me what's going on then in the standings with Mags, and I think Mags currently is. I've completely got it wrong now. I think Mags is currently leading the championship and winning the title here tonight then. If he wins the race, then Nameless and R2Beat switching places. Now R2Beat and Nameless resuming their battle then for P9. Then they're all over the back then of Ultimate Beast then, who is trying to reel in Farf. Of course, medium compound tyres will start to drop off then in the next 3 or 4 laps, I would imagine. So that especially the soft compound tyres for Nigel, the likes of Vintage and Donald Dons, I think they've already probably got to that window already. So they will be starting to struggle out there as well. Good stuff. Right then, so far so good then. Nameless and Gordo then switching places. I thought there was a bit of front wing coming off that Mercedes then, but I think that might have just been a glimmer of something in the Brazilian breeze. But there we go. Then Nameless has got himself past Gordo, then up into P8 now, trying to chase down Ultimate Beast then for the next position as well. Then Gordo then is going to try and fight back down this main straight then with some DRS, with some battery potentially as well. Then on the attack then Gordo of course is good at looking after the car, then making sure it keeps it clean and consistent then, and he has done so far. No, he hasn't got around the outside. I thought he got around the outside then of Nameless, but not quite then, as we go into turns 2 and 3 now. And Gordo is slightly ahead then. He's got the battery as well then on Nameless. Nameless of course is harvesting that red light flashing on the back of the AlphaTauri. Then here comes Pot Stuff and R2B. No, it's Reflection and R2B into turn 4. And status quo, never mind. So there we go then. Out in front then, the top 5 still within that DRS range then, just holding each other close for the time being. Ultimate Beast is almost caught up to Farf then. He has got himself into that 1 second window now of Farf, which is not good news then for the Haas car, but potentially good news then for Ultimate Beast. Can get himself further up the order then with some DRS assistance and get himself past the Haas in the next few corners or so. This train then goes all the way back down to P16 now from Farf, as we've got yellow flags, and Jinner is out of the Grand Prix. And where is Jinner? Jinner has just gone off the horseshoe then. A safety car has been released again. Goodness me. safety cars back out then, so Gilles out of the race as well then, unfortunately for the Aston Martin driver, and that is second safety car of the night. Then soft compound tyres going on as Beast has got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that is bad news indeed. Then Gordo has got a chance now to serve that 5-second penalty he picked up on the first safety car, so he will be in the box then to serve that penalty and get that sorted and taken off his race result, that is. But there we go then, Irvine has stayed out then, and unfortunately for Irvine, I don't know if that is the right call, but nonetheless I suppose he can give it a go. Unfortunately for Irvine then, he is going to be in a world of pain with those soft compound tyres and fresh medium compound tyres looming up behind him then already then, as we get ourselves bunched up into the safety car queue. Nigel then has done a good job then, so he's got to have the P5 now, and of course Dylan is on the soft compound tyres in P6, then somehow P6. Oh no, of course Irvine carried on, didn't he? So of course he will have to pit again, I would imagine, and I don't think it's going to be very competitive, unfortunately, then to those around him, which is going to be very difficult then for those to try and get themselves through. So that will be very costly indeed. Unfortunately, the Sphere de P, I think he's either stayed out then, or he's on they put him on old medium compound tyres again. So unfortunately for the McLaren, I'm not sure that is the right strategy for him either there. So very interesting call from McLaren. But there we go then. It's a very interesting call then from Irvine as well then. So he's decided to stay out then under this second safety car. Potentially he could get to the end of the Grand Prix from here on those medium compound tyres. He will be out of the points then, guaranteed, I'm afraid, because those soft compound tyres and the fresh mediums then will be able to storm past them. And I think he's seen the light then, he is into the box, and he has pulled it there on those medium compound tyres, so potentially just looking to get some 1 lap extra fresher tyres on that car and go to the end of the Grand Prix from there. Sweden P is back in the pit as well, until Sweden P has pulled it there. I think he did the same thing as Irvine, then potentially staying out for 1 extra lap, then to go on to a new set of tyres then at the end of this safety car period. LTAG thinks that the mediums are better than the softs then to the end of this race, then we'll have to wait and see. So that is the call from the comments once again then. So soft compound tyres for 7 drivers, or 8, 9, 10, 11 drivers out there, and everybody else on fresh medium compound tyres. Who will win out then in this race in terms of the strategy then? Currently, like I said, Mags is going to be the champion here of the silver division. So this is going to be exciting stuff indeed. At the moment as well, I think the Haas pair of Nigel and Farf, as it stands, are going to be the Constructors' Champions as well then, so that's going to be good stuff indeed for the Haas pair. Of course, starting off the season in Silverstone only 16 rounds ago, with a 1-2 finish then in Britain, so they have got themselves potentially a Constructors' title then to come their way as well. So good stuff indeed. And safety car is coming in this lap then, so we are going to be back underway then. Lap 24 of 36, or lap 25 of 36 will be back underway. And we have got ourselves to the 2/3 distance, and safety car at each third, so that's promising then for the end of the race. So good stuff indeed. Right then, Mags once again will lead us away then on the second safety car restart then of the night. Let's see whether he decides to drop the hammer this time. Is he going to go earlier then, or is he going to wait to the line like he did on the first safety car restart? We will find out here. But there we go then, waiting for the Ferrari to drop the hammer then and get ourselves back underway. And we can get ourselves cracking then for the restart of this race then, and I think he's caught everyone out again and caught everyone napping once again, I should say then, as we go in towards turn 1. Mumford then into P3, Nigel, and they've got R2P and Nameless battling away then side by side then in towards, oh my goodness me, there's contact between the AlphaTauri and the Aston Martin. And the Aston Martin's got off the circuit. There's all sorts of action in the background, then there's all sorts of things skating about in the background as well then, as blimey then, oh my goodness me then, that was crazy stuff indeed then. I couldn't quite tell what was going on there. Back past goes R2B then into a P9, past Ultimate Beast, I should say, then on the soft compound tyres. Gordo's got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting and gaining a place then, so I'm not quite sure where Gordo caught corner cut then, but unfortunately that will have to be looked at after the Grand Prix then, because I don't think he's going to have to come into the pits again unless there's another safety car. That was very strange stuff indeed then. Reflections up into P7, but he's struggling out there. Has he got any wing damage? Doesn't look like there's any wing damage on the Alpine, but Gordo then is really catching up to the back of that Alpine quickly and putting the pressure on now as well then. across the line we go then to start off lap 26, and Max has already got a 1.3 second lead then over his rivals as well. As we cross the line then, Max sets the fastest lap of the race then. The good stuff indeed then for the Ferrari driver. That of course is an extra point then in his favour then, but here comes Mumford and Nigel's there as well then in towards turn 2 and 3. Then Nigel's going to go down the inside, then he's got to move up into the podium places. That cements the Haas pair, Haas drivers then in the Constructors' Championship fight as well then. As we go down towards turn 4, then Nigel looking to shape for a move. Dylan down the inside of Mumford up into P4. Then Dylan is looking to try and keep this title fight alive then if he can in towards the final couple of races then. But currently he is down in P4. Then Mags leading the way then will make sure that Mags is the title champion as we cross the line then currently. But of course we've got another 10 laps to go here in this race then. Anything can happen. We will wait and see what will happen then in those 10 laps as well then as we go through the second horseshoe then in sector 2 then to complete lap 26 then of 36 as well. Speed Kai and Irvine switching places then. Speed Kai's got himself past the Red Bull car, has he? Yes he has, up into P13. Great stuff indeed then as Irvine then trying to fight back then down the hill towards the final couple of corners then into up the hill we go I should say then for Irvine. Trying to put the pressure on now, he's going to get himself alongside then up the top of the hill. Mag sets the fastest lap of the race once again then, so he's got himself another point then in his favour. Then here comes Nigel on the back of Fangio then into turn 1, not quite then for Nigel, and he stays behind then. Beast is in the pit lane, so Beast has got an issue then somewhere. We'll see if there's a wing change then for the Ferrari, for the Red Bull I should say. He's serving his 5-second penalty of course, and I think there is there is a wing change then for Ultimate Beast. I'm not quite sure what happened then for the Red Bull car then, but he is going to be back underway then with a new front wing then. Speed Kai has been passed by Sweet100P, then Sweet100P is off the circuit then as well, and he's out at turn 5 then is Sweet100P, then he's back on now. Potstuff's got himself past Nameless I think there. Not quite sure what was going on out there, and then his name has had an issue then somewhere it looks like, as he's lost a lot of time then to Potstuff as well. Potstuff flying through them. Craig R into the points pen position. Good stuff from Craig R as well out here. 2.4 seconds the gap to the race leader then. Currently he is going to be the champion then is Mags as it stands then. Of course he's got a 4-point gap then to Dylan before the race start here tonight then. If he wins the Grand Prix here tonight then he will be out in front then in the championship fight as well. Then he will be confirmed as the Silver Season 7 Drivers Champion. Here comes Nigel on the attack then of Fangio then in towards turn 1 and 2. And he has got himself ahead then in the Haas up into P2 now. Can he chase down Mags potentially for the race win here? We'll have to wait and see then as we come fighting back then. Fangio I think is going to fight back for P2 then down towards turn 4 then. He has got the position then back up ahead of Nigel into P2 and sliding back into P3 then for the Haas driver. Good stuff indeed then. Out of the into the pits then Sweet100P then. Sweet100P got a wing change as well then, so obviously Sweet100P then having a few issues out there somewhere as they've got themselves sorted and back underway then down the back of the field then, but they're soldiering on out there as well then. Good stuff indeed. Max then leading the way by 2 seconds then. He is currently going to be crowned the champion here in Brazil. Goodness me, I needed a bit of a break. 3 seconds then for Speed Kai, unfortunately for the Williams car, then that is bad news indeed. It's out of the pit, comes Sweet100P then right behind Ultimate Beast, then both these two are pitted of course, and potentially going for the fastest lap point as well. Irvine's been passed, Speed Kai's lost a front wing then somewhere, so we're not sure what happened there. Then Reflection's got himself past Farf, has he? Yes he has, up into P6 now for Reflection. Great race so far then for him. Into turn 1, go down the inside then is the Haas of Nigel, then up into P2 once again then, but can Fangio fight back again towards turn 4? This time I think he will be even closer than he was on the previous lap then, so he's going to go for the move back on Nigel then into P2. Nigel giving the squeeze then, but Fangio is already ahead then into turn 4, back up into P2, and now Dylan is all over the back then of the Haas car as well then as we cross the line, cross into sector 2 I should say. Then we haven't crossed the line just yet then. 29 of 36 then has almost been completed. Then Speed Car is in the pit lane as well then. He has got himself as fast, picks up a 3-second penalty. He's got himself a wing change and a set of soft compound tyres, blimey, on the way then. Ultimately sets the fastest lap of the race then. That's going to be good news for Beast then. An extra point going his way and the Red Bull's way as well. He's taking it off Mags, which is going to be interesting stuff indeed then. If there's going to be a title fight then it's going to go right to the wire here tonight then, so let's see what's going to happen here in the final few laps then of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Here comes Dylan then on the attack then. Can he get himself into P2? Can he get himself on the back of that Ferrari? Can he take the lead in this Grand Prix in the last few laps here as we go across the line to start lap 30 then for the McLaren driver then in towards turn 1. Nigel sits tight then, he stays behind Fangio this time. R2B's got himself past Gorda, then into P8 now for R2B. Good stuff indeed from him as we go through the centre S's once again. Then we'll come back to that battle. Then here comes Nigel then on the attack in towards turn 4. Then has he got enough power to get himself down the inside? Then to Fangio. Then, oh my goodness me, there's contact between the two of them. Then as we go off the circuit then, and Dylan's going to sneak through as well, is he? Yes, he is up into P3 then for Dylan. Then good stuff indeed then, but he's going to have to try and get himself past Nigel as well. He seems to be getting the elbows out here in the Haas as we go into sector 2 now, but currently then it's still not enough unfortunately for Dylan. Then he's into a P3, but he needs to get himself into the race lead at the moment then to take the fight. Then of course he needs to jump, he needs to outscore Mags pretty much then to take the fight then to the final race, which of course is Imola in a week's time then. So 2 classic tracks then to finish off the season then for gold, which of course has done Brazil yesterday. Silver then here's Brazil tonight then, and Imola in a week's time, and then bronze tomorrow night as well then. So tune into bronze. There's a championship fight then on the horizon then for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and bronze tomorrow night as well. This is going to be epic stuff indeed. Here comes Dylan on the attack then, getting himself up into P2, then passing Nigel then in towards turn 1. Yes, oh my goodness me, Fangio almost losing the car then through turn 1 and 2, but he's got himself back into contention. And here comes Dylan then round the round turn 3. Then Nigel will be trying to fight back. And is he in towards turn 4? Then he's covering off the move from Fangio, but now down the inside of Dylan. Into turn 4 we go then. He's got the position. Can the McLaren switch back? No, my goodness me, it's contact between the two of them. Then they're going to be going side by side almost into turn 6. Then here we go then up turn 6 now. Nigel's got a 3-second penalty. There's contact between Nigel and Dylan again then as we go into it. Oh my goodness me, that is not good stuff indeed. Then now the 2 Hasses are side by side, and Farf is one of them, so that is dangerous stuff indeed. My goodness me, like I said, Speed Kai then gets the fastest lap of the race then. 3.7 seconds the gap then between Dylan and Mags, and currently that is not where not where Dylan wants to be. Then he has got himself from P13 back up into P2, which is formidable stuff indeed then, but it's not enough as it stands then with 5 laps to go here. Goodness me, here comes Fangio then on the attack. Then can he get himself back past Dylan then in towards turn 1? Not quite. Then he sits behind Mumford, then is waiting in P4. Then Nigel's dropped down to P5 with that contact between himself and the McLaren, I think it was. Then Craig R and Potstaff then switching places then into the centre S's. Then Potstaff dropping down to P11. Then Craig R under pressure for that final point pen position here as well. Potstaff has got some DRS to play with as we go down towards turn 4, and they are for some reason squeezing each other then as well. What's happened to Speed Kai? Speed Kai's had an issue then in sector 2, so he's having a problem then is the Williams car. Then he's got himself back underway, and now going to try and get himself back in this race as well then. But unfortunately, like I said, if he stays in the race then and finishes the Grand Prix, he gets that fastest lap point. But of course, if he does DNF then, he will not be able to get that fastest lap point, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with Speed Kai. But currently holding on to that fastest lap is enough then to get himself and the Williams team a point as it stands as well. Mags then rounds the penultimate corner then to climb over the hill then to start off lap 33 of 36 here as well. Then he is currently on the charge then for the championship here as well. Then there is your driver of the day poll. Mags, Dylan, Reflection and Mumford are your candidates here for the Brazilian Grand Prix then. So great stuff indeed then. Of course my vote will go towards Mags, and he of course is going to be the champion here tonight then if it stays this way, and he has done a formidable race once again here in Brazil then, and a formidable season for the Ferrari driver as Dylan has been passed then by Fangio then into sector 2, as of course DRS then for the Williams car, then no DRS then for Dylan in the McLaren, and up into P2 for the Williams car then. Good stuff indeed then for Dylan, for Fangio, who's back ahead now. Those medium compound tyres I think might starting to phase in at this stage of the race compared to those on the soft compound tyres who've done 10 laps now on each after that safety car on lap 23. So I think this is where the tyres start to switch over then in the favour of the medium runners. Potentially, we'll have to wait and see. But you never know. It could be good, it could be bad. We'll never know. We'll have to find out then on the final couple of laps. Then here we go then up to the line for Mags. Then lap 34. Let's have a look and see. I didn't think that there's a penalty situation there as well. Then so you can see that as well. We've got more issues. It's an Alfa Romeo. It's Vintage, then Vintage off the circuit, then he's been passed, and Dylan's got himself back passed into P2 then, and Mumford I thought was shaping for a move as well, but couldn't quite get the move then because Fangio covered it off in the last second then, as Speed Kai's got a problem as well then out there, and again causing issues then for Speed Kai in in this race. And again, another incident at lap 33. Then for lap 33 for him, lap 34, of course, for the race leaders. So I don't think there'll be another safety car in this race, even if Speed Kai does start to just do some shenanigans. So of course, we don't want any more safety cars then, because of course that will just play even more havoc then for the title fight. Imagine that, another late safety car in the title deciding Grand Prix. We haven't had that before in Formula 1, have we? But there we go then. Shout out to F1 or to Formula 1 2021. What a season that was. There we go then. So lap 34 then of 36 then. I think Kai is about to get lapped then by the race leader and potential champion. Well, he will be the champion then in 2 laps time if he can keep it all together then, pointing in the right direction then. But he will be champion in 2 laps time. We've got more yellow flags out there again. Not quite sure who it's for this time. It looks like it might be Ferrari beating hot stuff. Then maybe some DRS games going on there. I'm not quite sure what they're playing at. But either way then, as Gordo's got a 5-second penalty, of course, that might be reviewed after the race. And Carver's got a 3-second penalty. Reflection, of course, has not got the penalty. Nigel's got a 3-second penalty as well then for multiple track limits as well then. So unfortunately that might be costly for Nigel then. We'll have to work it out then in the championship standings and the championship fight then for this final race of the season then. But Mags, absolutely brilliant then out there, is looking like he's going to claim the title here tonight then. He's got himself past Speed Kai then. No more safety cars will be able to come out in this race then, as we've got Irvine, I think, into the box then. Same for his team. No, what's going on with this camera angle? Blimey. Goodness me. We'll get off that quickly enough. But there we go then. I think that is that then. There's Speed Kai in the background and he's trying to keep up with the race leader, I think, there. But so far, Mags then is stretching out the lead. Then it's 4 seconds there to Dylan, his championship rival then, who's taken him to the penultimate race of the season then. But I think as we start off the final lap of the race here for Mags, he is going to claim the title here in Brazil then, with 1 race to go in Imola next week. Then Fandra's got himself back past Dylan, then into P2 for the Williams car, sorry. And back up into P2, then into the podium places for the 3 Irishmen once again. Then the 3 Irishmen then seem to be familiar faces on the podium places, but they of course are showing their characteristics and for getting themselves up on the podium so many times then this season as well. There we go then. Mags then is coming through sector 2 then. He's had a nice, well, apart from his safety car restarts, he's had a pretty quiet race. He has been in the lead, I think, all of the race as well then, even with those behind him with some DRS then. He's been in the lead of this race from the get-go then, and that is characteristic then of a champion here as we go through the final couple of corners then to see Mags coming through up the hill then to claim the title here for Silver Season 7. And the Ferrari driver then rounds the top of the hill then to finish off lap 36 of 36. And it is going to be Mags, the Silver Season 7 champion. He takes the title here tonight in Brazil. A fantastic race once again then from a fantastic driver. And what a season then for the Ferrari. And he's got himself a title to go with it as well then. Great stuff indeed from Mags. Then he takes the crown here in Silver Season 7. And what a result then from the Ferrari driver then. Great stuff indeed. And fantastic racing indeed as well then. Fangio takes P2, a great result from Fangio as well then, to say the least. Then he's done a great job there here in this race and crosses the line to take that second place as well then, ahead of Dylan in this Grand Prix. Dylan then P3 in the end then. It's not enough to take the title fight then onto Imola, the final race of the season next week, but Dylan then has fought tooth and nail then throughout the season with a fantastic display and takes P2 in the championship as well, I believe. So fantastic then from Dylan as well. Nonetheless, he does get a podium once again then to add to his belt, or add to his wall of championships, I suppose you could say, as well. Great stuff indeed then. And what a fantastic season. There's 1 more to go then. There's still Pride on the line. I think there might be some constructors points on the line as well. We have not worked out the constructors. I can't do the maths, I'm afraid. And my goodness me, what is this? There is your champion then. Mags takes the top step of the Brazilian Grand Prix and takes the title for Silver Season 7 then. spraying the bubbly, spraying the champagne then with his new crown as well. Then fantastic stuff indeed. Then Dylan then in P3 in the McLaren. Then he takes P2 in the title as well. Then, or in the fight as well, I should say. Then, but there is your classification then for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Mags wins the race and wins the title here tonight in Brazil. Fantastic from Mags all season as well. Vanjo P2, once again a fantastic race then from the Williams driver. Then Dylan P3 took it all the way then as well. Great stuff from Dylan. From P13 on the grid as well. Fantastic from him. Mumford in P4, great result from Mumford. Reflection P5, great from him as well. Nigel P6, Farf P7, Potstaff P8, Archie Beat P9. Craig R rounds off the top 10. Nameless P11, then Swindler P12, then Irvine P13, Vintage P14, Ultimate Beast in P15 with fastest lap as well. Then good stuff from him for soldiering on out there. Gordo P16, Donna the Dons P17, Speed Kai in P18. Unfortunately for Jinna and for Kamara Racer, they both retired from the Brazilian Grand Prix. Goodness me. Right. Well, hopefully we can get the interviews underway then, and fingers crossed the guys can hear me in the party chat.
I can hear you.
We'll start with Mags. Mags, if you can hear me, just say yes.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Mags, you were crowned the champion here tonight. Then how do you feel?
Am I crowned the champion?
I don't think he is.
I don't think so.
He was 4
I don't
points
know.
ahead, and now he's 14 points ahead.
I think it's 14.
Oh, maybe not then. Sorry about that. Goodness me, I think I matched right in that case. I can't remember what I did. But anyway,
No,
Max, you got a
it's
race
for-
win at least. So there we go. Well done to you. Yeah, I'll have to just copy and paste that speech that I did at the end of the race for next week. But Max, you took the race win at least. So you had a very comfortable race out there, apart from 2 safety car restarts. And fantastic from yourself then. Once again, then did you think you had the race win in the bag then after that qualifying, which was quite a sort of fiasco as well?
Well, it's a qualifying now. As you seen, it was raining, so I just wanted to get out as fast as possible. And I think I was second. They crossed the line. I just needed to warm up my tyres just a wee bit more, and started raining mid-lap and stuff. And I knew once I got the pole, I don't think anybody else was going to get it. Like, so I just wanted to starting first here and just look ahead of you and just drive well. Don't make any mistakes. Don't get any penalties. And I said to the boys before it, I was like, I really hope I just have a race where I don't get any incidents, don't have to overtake anyone, and that's exactly what I got. Like, so you can't complain.
Yeah, I think the closest you got to anybody was those safety car restarts, to be fair, and you're probably closer to the safety car itself than anybody else for the most of that race. So well done to you. And what a way to, well, not to win the championship, but what a way to put yourself into a great position to win the championship next week. Great stuff indeed then from yourself. And what do you think about Imola then? Do you reckon you can take the crown in Imola? Well, one of you's got to take the crown in Imola. Somebody's got to have it. But do you reckon it is yours to win, or is Dylan going to be fighting then all the way?
Well, I knew I wanted to win this race because it's the stronger track between the two. I wouldn't say I'm strong in Imola, if I'm honest with you. So I just want to hopefully not getting any incidents and just get points, as long as it's a 14-point lead. So just have to keep a head down and hope for the best.
And well done indeed tonight. Then you got all of that ticked off pretty much very easily. So fantastic stuff indeed to Mags. Then he is not the championship winner, but he will potentially be there next week. We'll have to wait and see. But there we go then. Fanto in P2.
Cheers.
You was fighting tooth and nail then for the race win in the first couple of stints there as well, despite the safety cars then, and went for the medium compound tyres in that final stint. Did you think that was the right call at the end then, or did you think the softer would be best?
That was a pure panic move. Like, we just dove into the pits and I just picked the first tyre I could find. But like, I just had a quick look, but like, it looked like there was about 14 laps left, but I didn't account for the safety car being 2 of them. So soft was probably the right choice, but I think my straight line speed helped me out there. And
you had a fantastic battle then with Mags for the first stint, then of course, but also with Nigel then in that final stint on the soft compound tyres for him, and all sorts. And did you have any comments about the battles you had today, or did you just were you just taking it easy then, and did you have the P2 wrapped up in the bag?
Like, I wouldn't consider Mags a battle. Like, I don't think I overtook him, so. But no, I had to be aware. Like I know both the lads here are in a championship fight, so I just tried to be extra cautious not to hit any of them. And yeah, Nigel we know is always aggressive and likes to burn the arrest. So thankfully, me and Dylan didn't get hit while he was sending it into the abyss. But yeah, listen, I was happy enough in the end. Obviously, Dylan nearly got me the line, but I'd really quick straight line speed around here, so I'll take the P2.
Cracking stuff indeed. Then, and are you going to try and get yourself into that into the title fight? Well, into contention with the title fight, I suppose you could say. Then for next week, then are you going to try and favour one of your colleagues or favour one or the other? Or what are you going to do next week?
Oh no, I love these lads both the same. Do you know what I mean? I'd never pick a side, but I'd just make sure I don't hit either of them and try and leave the race down to like not chance rather than just like pure merit. Like if Dylan's the quickest, he'll deserve it, and if Mag's the quickest, he'll deserve it. Do you know what I mean? So I'll just try and
lucky that Max
leave them
and
to it.
Dylan aren't in the Mercedes in next race. The driver who famously did some stuff to himself.
Yeah, Latifi, yeah.
But yeah, anyway, great
No, I
stuff.
won't be doing. Don't worry, I won't be doing any of that purposely. But if the win's on, I might take the win. Do you know what I mean? So.
Stuff indeed then, and we've got Dylan the third place in the podium. Then you take the title fight onto the final round. Even though I was saying, to be fair, if you listen back to the stream, I was saying it for the first half the race, and then for some reason I thought, because Mags was winning, that he won the title. But there we go. So, so Dylan, you take P3 from P13 on the grid, no less, as well. It was an absolutely fantastic race from yourself to keep the title fight alive as well. Then, so so credit to you as well. Was there any was there any doubt in your mind then on that after that qualifying, or did you think you had the pace then to get yourself back up in the race and get some points?
To be quite frankly, this was an uphill battle since quality, in fairness, with what you called letting everyone out of the way. Then all of a sudden the rain hit at the wrong time for me, to be quite frankly, and that's where I'm start with, like P13, so not ideal, but make your way up the field, which is what you call along the way, so pretty much end up P3. If I started from the back, I would be laughing, end up in the podium or something like that.
So, if my maths is correct, which I can't guarantee it is, you've got to get a nice victory then in Imola next week, and hope that Mags finishes, I think, P5 or lower. Yeah. So, what's your chances? What you thinking then for the title fight in a week's time, then, Dylan?
Very slim, because like knowing Max, he's very consistent, to be quite frankly. So we'll see how it goes. We're going into the final race of the season, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, we'll have to wait and see if you're going to be the only two taking the title fight then on to the final round of the season. Of course, bronze coming up tomorrow night as well. Then, so we'll stay tuned for that one. But fantastic indeed then from all three drivers here. Mags, of course, taking the win and cementing his position at the top of the standings as well. Then Fandro P2 and Dylan then keeping the title fight alive for one more week, despite what I said at the end of the race. But keeping the title fight alive for one more week then to the end of the season as well. Then. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then we'll be back then for bronze, bronze tomorrow night, that is, before we wrap up the season then in a week's time then for gold, silver and bronze in Imola. So stay tuned to ALR. There is plenty more action coming up then, and we'll see you very soon.